Hello children. Today I am going to discuss part 2nd of chapter 4. The title of the chapter is Bepin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory. In the first part children, we read that Bipin Babu met Parimal ghost named person who said that they had met earlier in Ranchi in 1958. But Bipin Babu insisted that he had never gone to Ranchi. Come to this para. Bipin Babu's car was safely parked in Batam Street by the Lighthouse Cinema. He told the driver as he got into the car, just drive by the Ganga. Will you, Sitaram? Underline Sitaram. It's the name of the driver. Driving up the Strand Road, Bipin Babu regretted having paid no much attention to the intruder. Intruder here means uninvited visitor. He had never been to Ranchi, no question about it. It was inconceivable that he should forget such an incident which took place only 6 or 7 years ago. He had an excellent memory, unless Bipin Babu's had reeled. Had reeled means meaning is given in the glossary. Shocked and confused. Bipin Babu asked his driver Sitaram to drive by the Ganga. He regretted having paid no attention to Parimal Ghosh. But that incident was still haunting his mind because that man knew a great deal about him. Was he losing his mind? But how could that be? He was working daily in his office. It was a big firm and he was doing a responsible job. He wasn't aware of anything ever going seriously wrong. Only today, he spoke for half an hour at an important meeting, and yet, from this para, it is clear that Bipin Babu was a punctual man and was doing a good job in a big firm, and he had an excellent memory. And yet the man knew a great deal about him. How? He even seemed to know some intimate details. Intimate means very personal. Which details? This. Underline these. The bag of books, wife's death, brother's insanity. The only mistake was about his having gone to Ranchi. Not a mistake, it was a deliberate lie. In 1958, during the pujas, he was in Kanpur at his friend Haridas Bagchi's place. Underline this sentence. Question can be asked. All Bipin Babu had to do was write to. No, there was no way of writing to Haridas. Bipin Babu suddenly remembered that Haridas had left with his wife for Japan some weeks ago and he didn't have his address. Underline this sentence also. Here, Bipin Babu remembered well that he was at Kanpur. Suddenly he thought of writing to Haridas. Then he remembered that Haridas had left for Japan few weeks ago before. But where was the need for proof? He himself was fully aware that he hadn't been to Ranchi. And that was that. Means baat khatam. The river breeze was bracing. Bracing means stimulating, taazgi dene wali. And yet a slight discomfort lingered in Bipin Babu's mind. Lingered means continued. Around Hastings, Bipin Babu decided to roll up his trousers, you can see in the picture, and take a look at his right knee to find out that injury mark. There was the mark of an old inch-long cut. It was impossible to tell when the injury had occurred. Had he never had a fall as a boy and cut his knee? He tried to recall such an incident, but couldn't. Bipin Babu rolled up his trouser and took a look at his right knee. There was a cut mark. It was difficult to remember when he had got it. Then Bipin Babu suddenly thought of Dinesh Mukherjee. The man had said that Dinesh was in Ranchi at the same time. The best thing surely would be to ask him. To whom? Dinesh. He lived quite near, in Benindan Street. What about going right now? But then, if he had really never been to Ranchi? What would Dinesh think if Bipin Babu asked for a confirmation? He would probably conclude Bipin Babu was going nuts. Going nuts means going mad. No, it would be ridiculous to ask him. Ridiculous means funny. Then he thought of Dinesh Mukherjee. Parimal Ghosh had said that Dinesh was in Ranchi at that time. He wanted to go him at once. But what would Dinesh think of him? Because he himself knew that he had never been to Ranchi. And Dinesh would probably consider him a little mad or insane. And he knew how ruthless Dinesh's sarcasm could be. Ruthless means cruel, sarcasm means young. Sipping a cold drink in his air conditioned living room, Bipin Babu felt at ease again. Such a nuisance. Just because they have nothing else to do, they go about getting into other people's hair. Meaning is given in the glossary. After dinner, snuggling in bed with one of the new thrillers. Snuggling means lying. Thriller romantic. Bipin Babu forgot all about the man in New Market. Bipin Babu felt much better when he was at home. After dinner, he lost himself in a new novel and forgot all about Parimal Ghosh. Next day, in the office, Bipin Babu noticed that with every passing hour, the previous day's encounter means meeting, was occupying more and more of his mind. If the man knew so much about Bipin Babu, how could he make such a mistake about the Ranchi trip? Just before lunch, Bipin Babu decided to ring up Dinesh Mukherjee. Ring means phone call. It was better to settle the question over the phone. At least the embarrassment on his face wouldn't show. 2 3 this number he dialed. Hello, is that Dinesh? This is Bipin here. Well, what's the news? I just wanted to find out if you recall an incident which took place in 1958. 58? What incident? Were you in Kolkata right through that year? Which year? 1958. That's the first thing I have got to know. Wait just a minute. 58. Pause is there. Just let me check in my diary. For a minute, there was silence. Bipin Babu could feel that his heartbeat had gone up. He was sweating a little. Hello? Yes? I've got it. I had been out twice. Where? Once in February, nearby to Krishna Nagar to a nephew's wedding. And then. But you would know about this trip. The trip to Ranchi. Underline this. You were too there. This also. That's all. But what's all this sleuthing about? Sleuthing means asking or investigating, पूछना. No, I just wanted to. Anyway, thanks. This is the dialogue of Bipin Babu. Next day, in office, the incident came back to him. Just before lunch, Bipin Babu decided to ring up to Dinesh. And he was much surprised when Dinesh confirmed what Parimal Ghosh had said. No, I Bipin Babu slammed means पटका के बंद किया. The receiver रखा. The receiver down and gripped means dabana his head with his hands. He felt his head swimming. A chill seemed to spread over his body. There were sandwiches in his tiffin box, but he didn't eat them. He had lost his appetite. Appetite means hunger. After talking to Dinesh and discovering that he was in Ranchi in 1958, Bipin Babu completely lost his hunger. He was much worried. and Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee only added to his worries.